confusing.
Yeah, my
You
bad.
forgot to record. No, W3D. Oh no, I'm sorry, W3D. That's terrible. Person, I'm glad you like the lot. Emotionally unstable person. That's crazy. What you need Wad I love you? Wad I love you. There you go. Thanks, Abe. I'm so Purple Violet. Thank you. Absolutely. Purple Violet, thank
Whoa.
you for the #1 gifter badge. So nice. Um, guys, so we're back. We are in the middle of an Ask Bird Mom real talk advice stream where we are talking to people about things going on in their lives and figuring out ways for you guys to live your best possible lives. I am Jen Cohn. As many of you know, I don't know what's going on. Suddenly, everybody in the chat in the YouTube is gone. Oh, pizza lovers here. Nerd
Yeah, just
He's
gotta
here.
restart it, but
Oh,
yeah,
good.
good.
Scarlett, hello there. Thank you. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. Hello, Burrito Pigeon. Paige, you get an I love you too. Of course, I love you too. Hello, person. Um, I'll redo the wait, do we need to we'll redo the disclaimer?
Yeah, just to
Guys,
cover
I'm not a
us.
doctor. Yeah, why why the heck not? Thank you, Chaluk. Thank you. I am not a doctor. I have zero medical training. I am just a trusted adult who is here to talk you through what is going on with you. If you find yourself in any kind of situation that feels dangerous, please, please, please call the emergency number in your country, 911 in the US. And I am always a big advocate of going to therapy. Thank God for therapists. I love therapy. Everyone should be in therapy at least for some stretch of time because the the unexamined life is not worth living. And it's much more interesting once you figure your crap out. Trust me. Hi. The Discord link isn't working for some reason. Why is the Discord? Oh, is it because? Well, I don't think
Uh,
it's clickable. I think it's just a show. Discord link in my bio should be working.
Yes, it
That should be
is.
fine.
And I think that the issue that sometimes people have is that when they write, hey, it's Jen Cohn, they write an apostrophe before the S, and then the link doesn't work. Um,
No
so
apostrophe, all one word. Rob Fury, hello, sweetheart. Guys, I'm doing another Streamily signing. Fury is here. That's coming up in about a month, right? It's exciting. A joint one with Ms. Lucy Pole, VA for Mercy, my girl Mercy. So it'll be another pharmacy signing. I'm super excited. Thank you. Hey, Wazy. Hey, Gog KK. Hey, Nathan B. Nice to see you. Thank you for the like person. Hello, Yuki. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. You got a giant Overwatch signing email. I love it, nerdy. That's amazing. Oh, that's great. Thanks, Wazy. All right, we got another question. Hold on, I've got some of them written down. I'm gonna chill Luke because you're here in the chat. Let's do yours, all right? Hold up. Hold up. You're you Rob Fury, you know how to make a girl feel good. Thank you. A tough week. Look to Rob Fury to what's going on. Okay, refreshed. It still says stream starting soon. Is that a mistake? You got all the signing stream dates saved. I love it. Yay. Chaluk, hold on. Nespot, is it not live?
no, that's the old VOD, like the first one. So since if you refresh,
Oh,
it's like a
okay.
video. You know what I mean? So go to your channel, and it should be the first one.
Okay, hold
Yeah, no
on.
problem.
Let me go 1 second. Oh, so confusing. Oh, so confusing. What is going on here? Oh, guys, just trying here. What do we got going on? And live there now. Boom, got it. All right. Izzy, there you are. Hello, stream working. And there's video. I see it. Okay. Okay, where is everybody else? What's going on over there? I don't know. Liam Polyphilium, hello there. Luke, I'm so glad you knew that. Guys, if you have questions for Ask Bird Mom and you want to talk either live or with a write-in for the Real Talk Advice stream, please, please, please go join the Discord. The links are in both chats. And you can DM them either to me there or to Pronest Ness. You can also send me one directly through my Instagram. And we will always try to fit you on when we can. We usually book it a couple of weeks in advance, but often there's an opening because somebody has to cancel and we try to squeeze people in. But definitely send us. Let's get this. Here we go. Okay, we got Chaluk's, and Chaluk is here with us in the TikTok. Recently, with college, this is going to sound very familiar because Olivia was going through something similar. Recently, with college, I haven't been wanting to go in and have been procrastinating work for weeks and weeks until I have to do them last minute. Going to college has just been stressful and makes me worried about actually going, as I'm planning on becoming a teacher in the near future. But I feel there's nothing that will motivate me to complete the work and go into college. Need any advice you can give me about this? So I guess my question, and I'm happy that you're here in the TikTok because then you can answer questions for me. I guess my question is, why do you think you've been procrastinating? Like, why do you think you're procrastinating? In your own words, what do you think? Let's see. In here. Ryan, decrepit. Hey, Puff. I'm waiting for the answer. I'll tell you, I procrastinate often. I'm like, I do it. But I see that when I procrastinate, there's usually some block within me that doesn't want to get it done because I'm either afraid or I have some other backstory going or I'm distracted. I'm curious to hear why you think. The Discord link in the bio doesn't work. Again, oh, thanks, Abe. You feel like your work isn't good enough. That's it. And even if you do your best, it's not. What if just by sitting down to do it and starting to do the work, you'll come up with some answer to a question that's something that someone else needed to know or something you need to know about life or about your work or about your interest or by choosing not to do it, you're depriving yourself of the experience of what you'll learn from doing it. And also whoever it is who might read it, who might get some interesting insight out of it. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? You put it off and you try to distract yourself. I understand. I totally understand. And that's out of fear. But what if it goes even better than you ever could have imagined? Like there's that. Usually procrastination is telling you something. Here's a question. Do you really want to be a teacher or do you not really want to be a teacher? Would you rather do something else? What would you do if you could do anything you wanted to do in the world? Jazzberry, I love you too. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Abe. Thank you for looking out for this. Thank you. Thank you. That is so nice. Oh, I want to hear more from you, Chaluk. Purple Violet, thank you for all the gifts. Liv, thank you. You too. I so appreciate it. Yeah, Nespot, we got to see what's going on over here. I don't know where everybody went. Oh, Nerdy, I'm glad that helped. Luke, I want to talk to you about this more. So ask yourself, you've wanted to be a teacher since you were 5. It's all you want to be. You love it. Okay. So this is really just fear. Well, look, another really good piece of advice that I've been given is that when you choose not to choose, or when you choose not to act, that's a choice. You're making a choice. So by procrastinating, you are choosing not to do it for fear that you'll do it badly. But who knows? You might hit it out of the park. You might do great. You might be a genius. You might come up with an answer that's the answer that a professor of yours who's been writing a book, you'll phrase something in a certain way that might trigger them to have some idea that might start you on a whole other path. And as you answer a question, you might realize, oh my gosh, I don't like this kind of work. This kind of work doesn't turn me on. I want to be that kind of teacher because that's the kind of teaching I want to do. Like, you're depriving yourself of the journey by not doing it. And you're depriving the world of you by not doing it. Do you know what I mean? And look, I mean, if you decide to not do it because you're procrastinating, then you're not going to get it done anyway. So if it's like, I'm going to do it badly or I'm not going to get it done, but there's a chance if I do it, I might do it great. And I'll get closer to my dream of what I've always wanted to do. You know what I mean? If I'm scared to audition for something, because I'm afraid I'm going to be bad. Let's say there's an audition for a video game for a voice character, and I need to send in this audition, and I'm just scared that I'm not going to do a good job at it. I'm going to do a terrible job at it. So I distract myself and I go make myself a sandwich and I watch a TV show and I take a deadline and whatever. And I don't do it because I'm afraid I'm going to do a bad job and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do well at it. My fear was I was not going to do well and I wasn't going to get the job. I'm definitely not going to get the job if I don't send it in. So I'm choosing to not get it if I don't do it. And then if I rush at the very end and I'm all stressed out and I do it, I'm definitely not going to be able to do my best work. So then I'm self-sabotaging and making it hard for myself to succeed and get it. Whereas if I just do it, then I have a shot of being great and getting it. I have time to craft the way I do it. And who knows? I might end up doing it and going like, ugh, I hate doing this kind of audition. What I really want is that kind of audition. Or I really want to do that next time. Or I might do it and do a terrible job at it. And then I've learned something. And I say, hey, you know what? I really need to work on my Swedish accent. I really need to, let's say this, I'm just imagining. My Swedish accent is terrible. I got to work on that so that next time I get a Swedish accent, I'm good at it. Like, there's an experience that you deprive yourself of when you procrastinate out of fear of failure. Do you know what I'm saying? You're back. Justice reigns from the heavens, Socrates. Yeah. And fear of failing is a choice. Like, because, I mean, you're definitely going to fail if you don't do it. And you're more likely to fail if you stress yourself out and have to do it under a very tight deadline. Whereas if you just do it, you're more likely to do a good job. And you allow yourself the time and space to figure out whatever it is you wanted to figure out. And then if you fail, but you did it and you learned something and then you get to be better at it. Like, there's a whole road you're choosing not to take when you don't do it. You know what I mean? I'm so scared. Wish you could actually motivate yourself to do stuff and not procrastinate. I get it. I totally get it. This is definitely something that I suffer from. So it's not like I'm speaking from some high horse and I don't know, but really, that's the answer. I know sometimes for me, I procrastinate because doing the thing makes me so uncomfortable because I know I'll be triggered doing it because it triggers some fear in me or it triggers some feeling in me. I just heard this. Guys, I've been listening to all of this very good stuff because of this incredibly stressful week we've had. There's this amazing doctor. His name is Gabor Mate. And I just watched a video a lecture he did where he said we have to bless our triggers. And I had heard this before from other great places. You have to be so grateful for your triggers, because your triggers are the things that let you get to know yourself better. And the way he phrases it is, in terms of a trigger, the trigger is just a piece of the mechanism. But the thing that explodes, the explosion, is the hardware that's inside of you. So when something is triggering, it's hardware in you that is exploding, that is igniting. And so that is an opportunity for you to look at what that hardware is and understand what it is, and either decide it's time to get rid of it, the hardware, or inspect it and decide, is it true anymore? And usually it's not. Usually it's like an old childhood thing. Or what are ways you can work on it to disembowel it? Like just doing it, just showing up and doing the thing has so many benefits, in addition to just getting the work done. There are huge benefits to just doing it. And make it easy for yourself. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. You can do it, and you can do it messily. You can do it and do it like as well as you can. You can do like it. Don't cloud your need to do the thing with a need for perfection, because there's no such thing as perfection. You can always do it better. There's always a better version, but getting it done is even better than perfection, because perfection is impossible. I'll say that again. Oh, I love you too. Thank you. I would love to go to ASKBIRD Victoria. Go tell the organizers. I want to go to Comic-Con Stockholm. Tell them, guys, ASKCon and Comic-Con and ASKCon Victoria, ASKCon, Comic-Con Stockholm. Tell them I'm coming. Tell them you want me to come. I would freaking love it. Yeah, I have a couple of things, but they aren't announced yet. But I have a couple of things coming up con-wise that I'm excited about. Oh, Liv, you sent the video. Thank you. Izzy has problems with procrastination. Your best way to deal with it is break it into smaller chunks. Yes, I get it. I so get it. Oh my gosh, frustrating. Yeah, I've been there. Oh, I can't wait to see that. You could fall asleep listening to me talk about. Thank you. Oh, I would love to do Phoenix Fan Fusion. That's amazing. I've spoken to them before. I would love it. Yeah, tell the con organizers, tell the con organizers, write to the con organizers and say, when is Jen Cohn coming? Tell them, we want Jen Cohn to come. Let them know for sure. All right, we've got a couple more questions. Guys, I have to tell you, us doing this is so good for me today. This week has been so freaking rough. I really needed to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you for being here with me. Like, this is great. This feels good for my soul. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my God, Abe, do we need to start up again? Do we need to do another start over on the TikTok? Oh, Athena, a run for president. Being a politician.
I have, I'll let you know after, but
Okay.
we started again real quick.
Thank you. Okay, great. We'll do one more.
Mhm.
Purple Violet cosplay. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're doing one more restart. This is an experiment because we're not sure what's going on exactly with the algorithm. Exciting things. I can't wait to see this. Guys, if you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord, because Liv has put the bell ringing, and I think we all need to hear that. I've been so obsessed with getting on a frequency, like being on a certain frequency is so important. And when we can all be on the same frequency and on a peaceful frequency, it's so uniting. You know, part of my head is like, this sounds like such hippie garbage and I can't bear it. But in fact, it's true. Getting yourself on a frequency, it's part of what the breath work is. It's part of what you do sound work, like all of that stuff. You know, people, when they do the bowls, all that. So it's all related. All right. Should we stop and restart my Abe?
Yep, ready.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay. We're stopping and starting. So I am going to sit here and snap Because everything's just clicking. We just clicking. We got 2 more write-ins today. Ness, how are we doing over there
Doing
on
good.
the YouTube? Do we need to restart? Are we
I'm
good?
sure the restart will not help, I think, since it went out the first time.
Okay, but we don't, but we have our beautiful Izzy Jennifer and our
hmm
beautiful Liv Price, but we don't have
I
our
let
previous people. So we have to start it over.
I let them know, and it's a different link. So if I start it over, it'll just change the link again. What do you think?
Alrighty, TikTok is back.
Yes, I did.
Did you let them know in the Discord and the TikTok's back? Let's see what it looks like. Oh my goodness, we're back and we're back. That was good. It worked. It worked. Hello, 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 Jazzberry. Hello, Paige. How do I feel? There we go. Pretty great. Hi, gang. Hello, who else is here? Joe, 3rd time's the charm. Live, play nice, play far. Jazzberry. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, gang. Hello, gang-a-lang. We are doing an Ask Bird Mom real talk advice stream. And we are talking about things going on in people's lives and what's happening in this wacky time. Hello, Spooky Cat. Hello, Yeehaw. Thank you so much. Okay, I have a couple rocket jump. That sounds dangerous for sure. Thank you. Thank you guys. So nice. All right. We got questions. We got questions. We have 2 anonymous write-ins that we've got. Hello, Star. Take care, Izzy. Be well. Okay. We've got 2 anonymous questions. Okay. The first one is, oh, and this is a good one. Okay. How does one deal with being ghosted? A good friend of mine randomly stopped responding to any and all of my attempts to contact or communicate with them. And to my anonymous write-in, I am so sorry that you are dealing with that, because it's very unsettling. It's much easier and much better to have closure when you haven't been ghosted, when someone's been clear with you, when someone is like spoken to you, communicated with you, their feelings, communicated why, if they need a break or they don't want to talk, or they're ghosting stinks. Ghosting stinks. Wait, thank you. Hello, Fariha. Yeah, nerdy, right? Nobody deserves to be ghosted. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. Yeah, it's so unsettling being ghosted. But here's what you have to think, or where you have to go from being ghosted. Obviously, the person who ghosted doesn't know how to detach. If you're saying it was completely random and you don't think that anything was done, and you've reached out and tried to communicate and they just have fallen off of the map, and your side of the street is clean. Like when you sit and think about anything you might have said or you might have done, and when you go back, this is about the person who is doing the ghosting, not about you. If this person wanted to resolve the issue, if this person was able to communicate the issue, if this person had the confidence in themselves or the skills to be able to talk to you about that, you'd like to think they would. So I think you have to assume that either the person is being fearful, which is most likely, or lazy, which speaks really badly of them. And I think what you do is just move on. I know that that's awful and weird and terrible and uncomfortable and can be heartbreaking these are situations where you don't know exactly what is afoot. You know, you sometimes hear about somebody ghosting someone because they have feelings about the person that they don't know how to resolve. Or there might be, you know, some other factor that you don't know what it is. It often has nothing to do with you. And again, this person doesn't know how to communicate it. So I think it's just a matter of what can you manage? You can manage you. You can manage the fact that you know who you are in a given situation. You can manage your energy and you can move on from there. And I found frequently in cases like that, that the person does eventually show up and say something, you know, and explain themselves. She wants to say, Kulot, I love you. My friend gets jealous of me because I said, what you, that's so funny. You're the person I skew. I love, yeah, nobody deserves to be ghosted. I agree. I'll tell you, when I was, how old was I? Oh, it was so freaking devastating. When I was 16, I think it was the summer I was 16, I had a group of friends who I loved, and I would see them every summer. I had a beach house. My parents had a beach house, and we would go, and I would see these friends year after year. And these were my dear, dear beloved friends. And we were summer friends. And that summer, they just stopped inviting me. Like out of the blue, like out of nowhere. Like I hadn't done anything. Nothing had happened. And I just was off the invite list. And I was confounded. And like, I was devastated. I was heartbroken. Like one of these girls who I considered one of my best friends, and I knew that they were running around and doing things, and they just stopped wanting to do things with me. And I was so heartbroken that summer. It was so destabilizing. I made up all these stories to myself of why, like what maybe it was it because we'd moved into a bigger house, and maybe they made assumptions about me because we lived in a bigger house? Was it because I wasn't cool enough? Was it because there were certain boys who really liked me and they had less game, and that, you know, they thought something? I like made up all of these stories in my head to try to explain away what had happened. I didn't know. And I got over it. And obviously I made other friends, and obviously my life moved on, and obviously. And many years later, out of the blue, I get a message from the one who broke my heart the most, asking if we can please get together. She was in town. We were adults at this point, and she lived in California, and she was coming, and she asked, could we please get together? Which I was stunned because it was completely out of the blue. And then she followed up with, I really want to talk to you. I really feel like I need to say things. And I was like, okay. And so I went, and she had apparently been carrying the guilt from this ghosting for decades, where she was like, you know, this other girl who was part of that group, who was the ringleader of that group, I guess was really threatened by me, or I guess was whatever. And she had told the other two not to call me, and they decided to do that. And this friend is like, I loved you. And I listened to her. And then I was so embarrassed, and I was so horrified, and I did it. And I just want to say, I'm so sorry. And I didn't, you know, and I've always loved you. And I remember, like, it was very emotional. Like, I didn't even realize I still had the hardware from how hurt I was from this ghosting. And it was a case where I hadn't done anything. And really, all you can do when that happens is just love yourself, hold yourself up in your arms. You can go through the whole thing and say to yourself, have I done anything? Is there anything I owe anyone an apology for? Is there anything that is my side of the street clean? If your side of the street is clean, then trust that there are things going on that you know nothing about. There are things going on having nothing to do with you. And then you just move on. And it sucks. And I'm sorry, it sucks. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I want to see what people in the chat say. Let me see. Oh, I'm so happy that helps. Finn, thank you. Bird Mom. Oh, Blake, that is a good question. Do you want to be on the next Ask Bird Mom on the 30th? Blake, I want you to go get into the Discord and talk to Ness and Beyond if you want to come on and talk about this. Let's talk on the 30th. Live, go to bed and fly, catch a flight. Oh my God, I've done the Justice line twice already on this stream. I've done it twice. Hold on a second. All right. Oh, Booty. Ugh, it's terrible. I know. It's totally the worst. Look, honestly, if the person isn't telling you what's going on, then you can't know. And if you do a full moral inventory and an inventory of the situation, do your own little forensic investigation, and there isn't an answer, then trust that there are things you do not understand that are afoot and let go. That's all there is. Why don't they buff Farah? Wasn't she buffed? I thought that she's doing great. Ness, didn't you say Farah's broken? Didn't you say? Believe in yourself. Send TikTok universe to Team Boss Babes. What is that? My gosh.
Or being broken is a subjective. I
It's
think
also,
that if you're bad enough on her, you know, like you're not going to do anything.
It's also fluctuating. It's like
I thought we were talking broken like bad meaning good.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So even if she's broken, like even if she's like super good innately, if you're bad at playing her, then like, you know, you're not gonna. If you just miss your shots, you know.
I'm so bad at playing her. I'm so bad at playing. I'm terrible. Totally tragic. Nathan, thank you for #1 gift your badge. Thank you. Okay, I have another one. Oh my gosh. Blake, I'm seriously hoping that you're going to come on live on the 30th. That's so good. Hold on, what's going on? Why did this just get small? Help. Okay, there it is. There. Good. All right. Here we go. Gotta go. Take care, Finn. I'm glad you got the new Farah skin. I love the new Farah skin too. Guys, we've got another Ask Bird Mom on the 30th. And if you haven't already joined the Discord, please go join the Discord so you get all the inside dope on when things are going to happen before it happens. We've been plotting all sorts of new things to be put in, which I feel like, guys, some of the stuff we discussed feels that much more important now in light of the world. Wait, I want to see what Booty said.
definitely.
It's different for everyone. When I was ghosted in the past, I felt like I was unworthy of having friends. Ugh, I know. Booty, I understand. I know. I had that same feeling when I had that happen. But that isn't the case. That's a story that you're attaching to because you're looking for an explanation. And typically ain't the explanation. There's usually something going on that you don't know what it is. If you're doing a moral inventory and there isn't a clear answer there isn't something that you can point at that you could apologize for or you think is potentially, then no. You know, and sometimes it's hard to do a good moral inventory and say, yeah, this is an apology I owe. But if once you've done that and there isn't, then you just have to separate and you just have to hold yourself really tight and know how worthy you are and know how good you are. Ugh, Anonymous, I'm sending you love. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you. Who is one of my favorite characters in Overwatch? My favorite in Overwatch. Oh, I like to play Junkrat the most because I am really bad at Farah. So I love to play Junkrat and I love the voice lines. And I love Doomfist I think Doomfist is amazing. And I like Widowmaker too. Good. Hello, Nova. Hello, Lulu. All right. I'm going to do this last one. This, I tried to,
Very good
somebody
one.
said it and I had to write it down. This was a great one. Okay. This I'm excited to talk about with Abe and Ness here too, because I feel like this is a uniquely 2023 problem. And this is one that like is really interesting. So, hey, Bird Mom, I'm in 10th grade, and back in 7th grade, I came out as gay, but now I'm not so sure anymore. My family has accepted it, and my friends all know me as gay, but I'm more and more attracted to girls, and I'm wondering if it was a phase. How do I let people know I'm interested in girls now? And how do I not get judged? It seems like everyone will be, we're so lucky. We're so incredibly lucky to live in a time and live in a country and live in a world where being able to safely explore our preferences and our identities and how we feel about ourselves and how we want to present in the world and who we want to love. It is safe to do all of that exploration, to do all of that experimentation, and to be embraced by our friends and our family. It's so fortunate. It's so fortunate. And sometimes we're not embraced, and sometimes we run into walls, and there's so many places in the world, there's so many pockets of the world where that kind of exploration would not be issue even comes up. I mean, when I was in middle school, it would never have been safe to really explore your gender identity, never have been safe. And it was pretty dangerous at that age to really start exploring your preferences. Like, you might know with certainty what your proclivities are, but if you're trying to figure it out, there wasn't really safe public space to do that. So this question makes me think about how freaking grateful I am to live in a world and to live in a society and in a culture where that is okay. So that's amazing. That's a gift. Then I feel like since this is new terrain, since this is Terra Nova, this is like Terra Incognita, this is all new, there has to be grace offered to everyone who's young. I think it's so easy when you're very young to want to cleave to a religiosity about your beliefs. When you're forming your personality and you're forming your friend circles and you're forming your identity, it can be very anchoring to hold on to this new identity that you're exploring, and to hold on to it with a death grip, and then to judge everyone else and everything else through these eyes. But typically these are very young eyes, and these are very young experimenters. And I would love to think that we all can create a safe pool and an arena of grace where you're safe to explore something and find out where your borders are, and then come back to another border and see if there's somewhere in between that feels really comfortable for you. I always talk about how planes fly. When a plane flies, this is for you, Liv. When a plane flies, it doesn't fly from point A to point B straight line. It flies up, 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 and then it overshoots, and then it needs to correct. And then it corrects, and it goes down, 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 and then it overshoots, and it needs to correct. And then it flies up, 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 and then it needs to go and correct, and it goes down, down, down. And that's how you get from point A to point B. And I feel like that is a brilliant analogy for life. And particularly when you're talking about very young people and very young communities and these issues, our communities, no matter what they are cleaving to realize that there has to be room to pull back if we think that we've gone beyond where we're ultimately comfortable. Do you guys know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay, Abe and Ness, I want you to weigh in on this. Where are you, Abe? What happened to you, Abe? Where'd you go? Right, Bailey? I was in college. There was like a rivalry. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry. I was speaking for a moment, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah, yeah, I was yeah. Either way, I'm glad that you can hear me now. So, I actually live in a very queer household. My like one of my roommates is a trans woman. My other roommate goes by he, they. I go by they, them, and then our other roommate is, very queer and pansexual. And we talk about like, this topic of a phase, quote unquote, a lot, and how it's kind of weaponized against queer people as like, oh, you're just going through a phase. And the consensus that we came to the other night when we were talking about this is that, yeah, why is that an issue? I think people should be allowed to have phases. And I think it's important that people get that. I think a straight person should have every right, just like a queer person, to say, if you're a straight boy, you should have every right to experiment with your straightness and come back to the fact, yeah, I like women. I'm not interested in men. I prefer women. Like, I think in the best way that we should allow queer people and straight people to be, and everybody in between, to be allowed to experiment. And also, if someone is happy with a label, then that's fine. But we also should acknowledge that labels and their definitions are very, very changing things. For example, nowadays we call people who are transgender as like a trans woman, but in perhaps in the 80s, they used to call trans women. Our lingo updates itself and how we see things. I used to think I was bisexual, but I learned that the word pansexual works better for me. Did I go through a phase of being bisexual? No, I just learned more about myself. And perhaps this person is learning that, yeah, I am not straight because I'm attracted to men, but yeah, I'm also not straight because I'm attracted to men and women, and I'm allowed to do that. Or perhaps they're going to go through a quote, quote phase of their life where they're dating women again. And then they're like, you know what? But like in the end, I'm going to marry a man. Or this is perhaps their first, like, I don't know how young they are, but perhaps this is how they start to realize, actually, I prefer trans people, or I am trans, and this makes more sense suddenly.
Right.
There's a lot of trans women I've known that like they had issues growing up because they were like, oh, I'm a gay man, but I don't really understand. And then they realize, actually, I am a trans woman and I'm a lesbian. I
Oh,
am a
oh my goodness.
woman and I'm attracted to
What
women,
happened?
unfortunately. Oh,
Where'd we go? Oh my God.
oh,
What happened?
I
Something
see
just
you.
happened. I
It's
don't
all
think
good.
so. Mickey, no, I'm on. Hold on. I don't know what just happened. Yes, I
Oh,
can.
technical
Mickey, I'm in the middle of a
difficulties.
stream. I don't know what just happened.
Oh no,
I
I
don't know
wonder
what just
if
happened. Abe, you're in the middle of talking and I'm gone. Where's my audio?
Sorry, guys. It seems we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but here, I'll
Oh,
message.
okay. Now I
Oh,
hear. Okay.
yes. Okay, wonderful.
I
Cool.
disappeared there. Sorry. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
no, it's okay. The feed was good the entire time. It
Oh,
just
good.
seems like maybe
Okay.
your side dropped off for a sec. No worries.
That was wacky. Okay. Good.
Yeah, but I guess the thing that I want to come and close with is the fact that like people should be allowed to experiment and change their labels throughout their life, because people are like people, we are humans that are growing. As you grow, you have different tastes. When I was a child, I loved, you know, uh cotton candy ice cream, but now I'm an adult and I like vanilla ice cream. Like flavors change, tastes change, you learn. And the most important thing about a relationship is how the two people, or however many people in that relationship, feel about it. So
This is
what's
yeah, this is exactly I feel like the social strata
Mhm.
and a safe society for people to figure this out, and where a social group, if you're, if you're part of the, the GSA,
Right.
and experimented, in one way and identified a certain way, and then you shift your identity some, that there is no recourse, that there is no, that the beauty of being part of the GSA, or the beauty of being part of your friend group, or whatever it might be in school, is that there is room for this fluidity. And I feel like being that way will create much healthier, better adjusted adults, because so much
100%.
of like the rage and the suffocated misery is that there are people who had no room to have to do those experiments, and felt pressured to, fall into a certain identity, and because of that repression, either beat themselves up or attack others. I feel like the more we can encourage kids to keep it safe for everyone, that there is no backlash for choosing something different, the better.
Certainly. And I think like it's important to acknowledge that like and someone in the chat, Bailey, mentioned that they prefer to stay unlabeled, and they've told their friend who is, questioning, that they don't have to be labeled. And I think that's important. It's like
Yeah.
the world, everything is a spectrum, and you're allowed to experiment. I think it's an issue of society that has decided that you have to be one thing and stay that your entire life.
Right.
And we're gonna learn more as we grow as a society, but this is not a queer exclusive thing. Straight people deserve the ability to experiment. I wholeheartedly believe that. And they like there's very few straight people I've met that haven't experienced with even the thought of like kissing a friend and then thinking, oh, I'm not into that. Obviously, I'm straight.
The
So
whole
it's
thing is a spectrum. It's like the whole thing is a freaking
exactly,
spectrum. So long as
exactly.
everyone can be spectrum safe, I just feel
Mhm.
yeah. So
As long as we're just not judging anybody for doing anything, then we're not going to have issues. Who cares if this person decides that, yeah, they might have came out as gay, but now they're dating a woman? Who, like, what does it matter? Perhaps
what
that woman is
this
about to
kid
come
was
out as gay too. Like, who knows?
this kid is concerned because of by the crew, and because then if he the way that he phrased it to me was, then if he hits on any girls, that
Mhm.
they think he's gay, and they'll judge him
I
thinking that
see.
he's gay. And I
You
feel
just have to you just
like
have to be in a circle where if everybody is queer, like nobody care. Like eh, I don't know how young this person is, but most of the circles that I hang
that's the
out
whole
in
point,
now,
Abe.
it's
The whole
like
point is that this is a kid. The kid came out as
exactly. And
straight,
it's
and
like
now it's and
it's
this is
gonna be
like pioneer. This is like a
yeah.
pioneer level issue. Like these are the first generations. These are the
Mhm.
first groups to have to define the rules for how this goes. I
Right.
find it amazing.
Yeah, and it's important to acknowledge that like the friends might feel betrayed that suddenly they're losing one of theirs, but that doesn't mean they're losing their friend or someone's dying. It just means that they're gonna be in their own space a little bit more comfortable knowing something about themselves. And you should be approving of your friends. All my friends aren't gay. I don't have to hang out with only gay people.
There are trusted adults in this kid's life and
Mhm.
in their friends' lives who can help them navigate this. I
Yes.
very like, this is a ground level problem. Okay, wait, someone wants to say hello quickly. Hello. Saying hello.
Hey, Mick.
I want to say hi. I'm going fishing now.
Nick's off for an evening
I'll be
sesh.
back at like 9:30. Okay, Mom?
You got all your work done?
Yeah.
You ate food?
Uh,
You ate dinner?
I thought it was a steak over there. Can you make it on the go and I'll eat when I come back?
You gotta be back at 9 then. You can't eat later than that. 9. 9. You can't.
Breakfast tomorrow. I already had.
You want it for breakfast? You want to eat it for breakfast?
Chicken Chinese and pasta. Can I eat the?
Breakfast. Yeah.
Okay, are you gonna make it right now?
Maybe.
Okay, if you make it right now, I'll probably.
I'm in the middle of a stream.
Okay, I'll take a couple of bites and I get back.
Be back at 9 o'clock.
No, if I come back at 9:30.
Little mom things.
I know. I know. This is such a bird mom moment. Come back at 9:15 and you can have it for breakfast tomorrow. 9:15. Love you.
What about 9:30?
9:15. Love you. See you at 9:15. School night. 9:15. Love you. Love you. Go.
School
Have
night.
fun.
School night.
School night. Thanks. Oh my God, you love my hair. Thank you, me. I know. I'm so glad too, Bailey. Right? I know. You spent your whole life scared for your family for being gay and playing it straight was hard. Right. I mean, that's why a part of what's so incredible about this is the idea that this is possible, that like the issue wasn't coming out in school. The issue wasn't coming out at home. The issue wasn't like all of that was a smooth skate. The issue was coming back. And then still, when you're in, it's not like the kids switching schools. It's not like, in school, how do we keep everything soft and flexible enough in friend groups in this time where there aren't expectations created based on an experimenting identity? And I feel like the more we can just encourage that the nature of this time is safe experimentation and safe identity stretching. That would be the goal. Anyway, here's to having good adults in these spaces. Here's to having good counselors in these spaces. Here's to having people who make room for us and are good advisors in these situations. And Abe, thank you for being a good, Abe and Ness, both of you, for being good influences on the youngins that you're around. Yeah, where you get to be elder statesmen on these fronts. It's great. So I love that. All right. I look like Hang Zoe to you. Thank you. You love the Overwatch LGBTQ. I love them too. Oh, Cam. Yep. Yes, Cam. Agreed. What else we got here? What'd you say? Dolphin, is Dolphin still here? Oh my God, I loved that question so much. That was so good. Do we have exactly what the question was about how we stay calm with all of what's going on?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, advice for overcoming so much negative news in the world. Life is
Yes.
heavy recently, Bird Mom. That was.
That question was like, that hit me. So, okay, item 1, and I'm saying this for myself as much as I'm saying it for you guys. You must take breaks. You must go outside. You must take a breath. You must take breaks. I have found myself at different moments in this past week absolutely lost in my phone, lost in my iPad, between the messages that are flying with everyone in my family and my community, and back and forth between everybody who's deployed, who's not, who's cousin, who's blah, blah, blah. And then compound that with, and all the different opinions, and compound that with the frightening sense of like the walls closing in. I was talking about triggers earlier in this Bird Mom, about that when you should be grateful for your triggers because they're installed in you, because it forces you to see what your mechanisms are. You know, I think Jews around the world have all been raised to be very aware of rising tides of anti-Semitism. And this past 9 days has been a really upsetting, really shaking time for everyone in my community. And I think that many people, for different reasons, have different triggers and different feelings that are getting hit and are getting triggered in these moments. People who are involved and people who are not involved. I think that much like the thing of clutching onto a community and identifying with that community, I think that we as humans tend to cleave to tribalism. The tribalism makes us safe. And this goes back to the question that my 10th grade friend wrote me. I think that that's what it is. I think that you feel safe in your tribe often. And I think that if you're part of a group that is touting one thing, it's very easy to grab onto what that group is saying. And then if you hear conflicting messages, you're feeling assaulted. And then and that's for people who aren't necessarily involved in what's going on. So my advice to everyone right now is make sure to take the time to step away from your devices. I can be having a very traumatic time going through all of this. And then multiple times this week, I have been shocked to put my device down and go outside and take a walk and go like, oh, wow. Okay. Okay. My city is okay. My sidewalk is okay. I can take a breath. I can have a breather. For all of us who are fortunate enough, and that is the vast majority of us who are here, who can take a walk and recenter ourselves and have a little air and a little space and reattach to our humanity and remember who we are and what we stand for, take those opportunities to do it. And take those opportunities to connect with people in person. And take those opportunities to remember that what we all really want is to live. I hope that that helps. I needed to hear myself say that as much as you may have asked that. Like, I needed that. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you. I know, Tall. Thanks, Spooky Cat. I have seen Alari. Alari is great. Anyway, all of this to say, hi, Yukiko. Yeah, take breaks. Thank you, Sunlit Crab. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Spooky Cat. Thank you, Paige. Thank you. Take breaks. Take a breath. Remember who you are and remember what you stand for and remember what you want in the world. And then try to remember that that's really all anyone wants, with few exceptions. Unfortunately, I mean, there are exceptions, but the vast majority of people in the world, that's what we want. So hold on to that. I'm sending you all so much love. I'm really grateful for you guys. I needed you guys this week. Thank you. Thank you. You know, you guys are beautiful. It's a good community we have going here. All right. If you're not in the Discord, go join the Discord. Be members of the Discord. And Here's to all of us being here for each other. Okay. I'm sending you love. Mwah. Your questions for the 30th. If you have something you want to talk about on Ask Bird Mom, please, please, please send it in. Do it on the Discord, either direct me to me or through ProNess, or you can go into my Instagram and put it into story, not stories, put it into direct messages on Instagram. All right. Sending you guys love. Abe, Ness, thank you both so much. I appreciate you. Mwah, as always. Thanks, guys. Thanks.